What's up, guys? We are back. It is Dani Vita with the Kickback Podcast. I'm here. First of all, I'm just glad to be here. Shout out to With Intent TV. Shout out to P for PSP Picks. We're back in our new established situation, location. The vibes are right. It was only right that I started this show back with a specific series called the Atlanta series. And this particular interview is long time coming, if you will. I want to say from the womb to the tomb type vibes. You know, sometimes it starts with the church, you know what I'm saying? And it takes us there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you John William, the hip-hop flautist.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on? I appreciate you having me. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you showed up. You know, things happen. Life be lifing. But indeed. I'm just glad that you were here. So let's definitely jump into it. You know, you are a part of Atlanta. You've made your different marks, your different staples in Atlanta. So before, let's take it back to, talk about the origin story. Like I said, you grew up in the church, Atlanta, Georgia, Morehouse College. Let's talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So first and foremost, it's a pleasure to be here with, you. Like my sister.
Hey.
I'm talking about when you say womb from the tomb, I mean coming up from
Christ Card days, Rock of Ages.
I'm trying, come on now. Melodies from heaven, man.
Yes.
We in there. And so, we first met just talking about us, Beulah Baptist Church, Vine City, shout
out to West Side.
Shout out to Vine City, the Bluff. What's going on? And we literally grew up in church. Yeah. So musically, my origins starts there.
Right.
With the church, singing in choir, playing my instrument in choir. And every time I bring up what I do, I have to bring up Arthur McClinton because Reverend McClinton, he is the one that taught me how to play the flute,
Right.
And from there, that's where I tapped into my gift of being able to play by ear. And it's that gift that has really took me to different heights, even till today, musically. So, yeah, born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia, went to Kaya Heights Elementary School. I was in band. Shout out to my director, James Smith. Went to Young Middle School, which, at the time it was Southwest, but, now Young Middle School in the SWATs. Played the flute there. Went to Doug High. 225 certified, West Side, H.E. Holmes Drive, High Tower, if you really know what's going on.
Okay.
And I was in the band. I started being in the band when I was in actually 7th grade. I started marching when I was in middle school and 7th and 8th grade. Got
the feed-in schools.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. Okay.
And so was in the band. I played flute in the band. I was a drum major my senior year. And
shout out to the drum majors real quick. I was a drum major as well.
Come on, let them know. So come on.
Definitely the spirit's there, but go ahead.
Yeah. And so in Grady High one time.
Come on, Grady.
Gotta shout out.
No longer Grady, but they know Grady High School.
Oh yeah, sure. Midtown. But yeah. And so, from Douglas, I continued my musical education at Morehouse College where I earned my bachelor's and my Bachelor of Arts with a concentration in performance and also a minor in P through 12 education. So that's from Morehouse. After Morehouse, I went to the University of Georgia where I earned my master's in music education. And then I earned my doctorate in music education from the University of Georgia. So I've been doing a lot of schooling.
Dr. John William, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't play ever.
It's there, for real, yeah.
Okay. So definitely the background was there. The seeds were planted long before we even knew. Did you know that playing the flute would take you where you are today?
Not at all, honestly. Growing up, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Like, I didn't even want to be a band director, a musician. To this degree, I wanted to work with animals. And that's why I always got love and appreciation from my mom and my dad because they fostered that dream of me to want to be a veterinarian growing up. So they had me in different camps, whether or not it was Morehouse or Georgia Tech, that really led into animal medicine. But somewhere along the line, that music bug, it stayed with me the whole time. Right. And so that's the one that really just took hold as I went to college, and that's what did it. Stayed on it.
That's crazy. It's crazy. You're also a member of Phi Beta Sigma.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the 9, if you will.
One time, I caught you out to Morehouse College. Was happening.
I love it. So what was it, or what was the turning point? Because you're doing it, playing music in an educational standpoint. When did it switch over to become a source of entertainment for people? What was that like?
It was probably somewhere around maybe my late teens going into my 20s, because I've always been in the church. We always had opportunities to where we could perform, whether or not it was a solo in church, whether or not it was for somebody's Mother's Day brunch or Father's Day brunch. They in church, they always had us working. You already know.
Please.
And so at the very least, I've always wanted to just gig and perform. I would do weddings in my teens and 20s. I would always do weddings and just different kind of events. But it was my brother, Leroy Aaron Comedy, shout out.
Yes.
It was my brother who used to always ask me, when you going to record? When you going to learn how to record? Because for Christmas, my mama got me this keyboard. And it had a recording feature, but I never knew how to work it. I was just too lazy to learn how to figure out how to record. So he would always ask me. And at some point, just doing open mics and weddings in my teens, it just kind of transformed into having a desire to want to record. And my original name, I used to go by the Hip Hop Flautist, because I would play a lot of hip hop, growing up.
Yeah.
But, to reach a more broader audience, I kind of had to do a name change to John William Flautist. So, people wouldn't.
It's for booking purposes, because
exactly.
You booked the one wrong wedding.
I mean, yeah.
The Hip Hop Flautist. What's that? Okay. So what was it? Was it like a gig that you were at? Somebody heard you and said, "Oh, I need you for that." What was that? What was that moment like?
I'm gonna tell you the one. It was I did a wedding in my late teens, and I feel so ashamed. I just told somebody this story about 2 days ago, and I don't know if you know who Najee is, the jazz artist Najee. Prior to me knowing who he was, I played for his daughter's wedding.
Okay.
And when it was time for payment, he walked up to me, and mind you, I didn't know who he was. And he asked me, he said, "What flute are you playing on?" And it's this flute right here.
Wow.
And that's not really a common question that somebody will ask, And I was like, "Yeah, it's a Gemeinhardt." He was like, and me being curious,
Gemeinhardt.
I'm like, "Well, do you play an instrument? Are you a musician?" And he was real modest, and he was real laid back and cool. He was like, "Yeah, something like this." And I felt so dumb. And
because he really could have popped out on you.
Yeah. And I was like, "What do you play?" And he said, "You know, I play around the world." Okay.
Right.
And I was like, "What's your name?" Like, Najee. I'm like, okay, I'll remember the name. So days later, I'm like, let me see who Najee. Oh, okay. Najee, gotcha.
You had to humble yourself real quick.
Real quick. But it was at that moment that really made me have an appreciation for it, doing live music, playing more, and just wanted to do it as much as possible, because it was at that point that I realized music has its power of healing. And it has its energy. And, like you said, we growing up in the church. One thing I guess us as Christians we try to be is Christ-like. And what better way to be Christ-like than to heal? And I do that through music.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So you did that, did the gigs. Now I wrote down here DJ Jelly. He has an influence in your career. Speak about your relationship with DJ Jelly.
DJ Jelly.
The legend.
The legendary. First of all, shout out to Camp. You know what I'm saying? Because growing up, we big I mean, come on. DJ Jelly, Baby D, DJ Monte, Duck, Sammy, Hitman, Sammy Sounds, like all these cats, we would listen to them. We would listen to their mixtapes growing up, intoxicated. Come on, man, And so I've always been a fan of Jelly. And so much later in my, I guess, recording life, this is well after I started recording, DJ Burn One hooked me up with a friend of his named D Double. Now, D Double is an ancestor now. He passed away. So rest in peace to D Double. And D Double became not my manager, but my friend, partner, and consultant. Okay. And D Double and Jelly, they did like they boys. They boys, and they did a lot of work back in the day. They did a lot of promotion, and they pretty much rolled together, and it was through D Double that I really met DJ Jelly, and he put me in so many positions to not only perform, but just to expose me to other people. And it was through Jelly that was the first time I actually heard my flute, my voice, or my music on the radio, V103, because he played it in one of the mixes, man. And it was like, you ever seen on Hustle and Flow when they brought in Suge to sing, it's hard out there for a pimp.
And she first heard herself.
And she was like, that's how I was, when the first time I heard, my Night Drive, like on the radio, I was like, yo, That's what's up. So shout out to Jelly, man. And he's just been so instrumental in helping me just, again, push the envelope, put me in position to perform, and just do what I do. So Jelly, salute, big dog.
Absolutely. And again, because that just set the tone, because you've been able to work with people like Big Crit, Scotty ATL, Fabo, Gip, Pastor Troy, Big Rube. Like, these are real, like, legends in Atlanta. So what was that like, starting to get those calls and get those opportunities? Because as you said, you still had to put in the work. You still had to ask questions. So
what a lot of people probably don't realize is that, like, again, third grade is when I started playing the flute. So we're talking 1992, 93, and I didn't stop. Like, I know I'm kind of getting out there now. People are beginning to understand me and hear me and know that I exist. But I've been doing this for a really, really, really long time, you know? And in that, again, in my 20s, what I would do is I would do a whole lot of open mics. Okay. A lot of open mics, a lot of events in which financially I got taken advantage of, you know. And it's situations which I allowed it to happen to myself. Like,
you got to go through those.
I mean, you know, doing free gigs, you know, saying shout out to the church, but the church got some work off me.
Y'all got a lot to do with that.
got some work off me for the church, but it's okay though, because it's through the church that I got my gift in the first place.
For sure.
So at least our church, I kind of, you know, there's a pass that was given.
Right.
But a lot of open mics, a lot of events, a lot of, you know, just love performances, and in a roundabout way, I used to always consider that my tithing, you know. But it was through that I've always wanted to be that person in Atlanta that's known for playing the flute. When I was in, it had to be about 22, 23, I went to TI video shoot for You Don't Know Me. It took place right off of Bankhead at the car wash right across from Zone 1 Precinct.
Wow.
And so me and my boy James were there, and while we was there, I was giving out my cards. Steady giving out, like, if you want a flute player, if you need a flute player, you know what I'm saying, to be in the studio, I got you. Because Toon, DJ Toon, he produced You Don't Know Me, and one or two songs that I will always play would be Motivation, you know, and because I got to do it because it's here.
Has to do it.
Shout out to Toon.
Real quick, exclusive.
And so,
oh yeah, go ahead.
And so while at that video shoot, I would give out my cards. Like, if anybody need a flute for studio, please hit me up, whatever. And the thing is, over time, that really began to manifest, because I would get those phone calls, like, just down the line, much years down the line, and through consistency and persistence and just doing what I felt I was called to do, they'll be like, hey, I need a flute player. I know a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy. And that's just pretty much about just being present, being out, being around, being present, and being not only vigilant, but have vigilance to put on you so people can call upon you when the opportunity arises.
Love it. You stay ready and gotta get ready.
There you go.
I'm glad you said that about, you know, that specific record. But was there another record that you knew, like, you heard? You know, obviously we have the infamous Masked Off, but even before that, you know, really tapping into, there's certain instruments that really make the song. Was there another song that really just stuck with you?
Yes,
That was like,
it was. So this came out when I was in high school. This is probably like one of my favorite albums, favorite CDs.
Go ahead. This is a game to be like, can you guess that song? Of course. You know why?
You know?
Oh yeah, no.
So Big Pimpin'. Now, because when I'm hearing the instrument that I play, because I have a flute is a concert. Well, it can be used in, I guess, any form of genre now, but customarily, it's not. You don't really hear it in jazz too much. At least back in the day, you don't really hear. You hear it in concert band settings. You hear it Symphonic, in classical music. You know, but to hear the flute that I play in a genre of music that I love, that being hip hop, that really piqued my interest at an early age. I was like, yo, I can do that. Then I can play by ear. So, you know, I'm in high school doing that, you know. Yeah. It didn't just start, like, again, like, for a while. What I would hear, whatever it is, I will play it, you know. Right. And so, Big Pimpin', answer your question, Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z featuring UGK, produced by Timbaland. You know, that was the one that did it.
Just freaking classic. And I think the beautiful part about it is, like you said, you saw black men that played instruments, specifically the flute, to really kind of set the tone and scene. So how do you even continue pushing that message of being tapped into the arts, as an educator? Mm-hmm. How do you continue that and motivate, the youth?
I like to be a standing example of if this is what you like, don't let anybody deter you from it. As an educator, what I will oftentimes find out is if you have somebody that's talented in dual areas, for instance, like somebody that's a musician but also an athlete, a lot of times, you may, and this is no shade to any coaches, but you will have coaches, to kind of spit some stuff in their ear to push them away from, doing music. But I would tell those same individuals, like, you make yourself more valuable with the fact that you can do both. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that my students play football, that they're the starting football player or basketball. I'm at your games. I'm supporting you.
Right.
Cheerleading. I love diversity, within students, because you don't want students to be a monolith. You want them to be, again, just very diverse in what they do, because that makes them more marketable when it's time for them to go to college and it's time to get scholarships. Mm-hmm. But I was tell the kid, I'm like, if you do what you like, you got to get in this mindset of, I don't give a what about what people got to say about you, what they got to think about you. If this is what you enjoy doing, if it intrinsically makes you feel good, keep doing it. Like, look at me. Every day I walk into this classroom, I got my flute on me. I'll walk around the school playing my instrument. What you gonna say? I suck? Good luck saying that. Say what you gonna like. Nothing you can say can shame me. The
records are out, so that's not the truth.
and that's how I was growing up, though. The first thing people would say, "Oh, that's a dude playing a flute. Yo, he playing a girl instrument. He playing this. Oh, he look like
a girl instrument." That's always just killed me. Yeah.
I actually have a song called "Girls Instrument" too. It's on my debut album, Melodic Ascension. But check that out.
Love that.
But people would say that, yeah. But but the thing is, they would talk crazy until I started to play. After I started to play, and they hear me, and it's like, okay, he cool, he straight, he got it.
Right.
Oh, he swole. But he can play. He good. So that's what I would deal with. And I'm like, yeah, man. Like, things in life just aren't that serious, man. Nobody should be holding kids down or knocking them because they play any particular instrument. Whatever it is. I know some girls that go to work on drums, masculine, because instruments that were considered masculine, drums, tubas. I know a lot of chicks that play tuba, all brass, play anything. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really want to get into the gender stereotypes of instruments, because I did a whole dissertation about that. That's my dissertation about. But I would tell kids, if you love it, just do it. Yeah. Yeah. Just block out the noise. Do what makes you happy, and just keep at it.
And I think it's important as well to, arts play a very huge part into your academics, and people don't even realize it. Exactly. So it's just, people should really tap into those different art forms. And it doesn't have to be playing an instrument. It could be, the visual arts. It could be the performing arts. So I encourage that, and I'm glad that you're pushing that message. We're going to take a quick little break. We will be right back. We're going to tap into your new single and what you got looking forward to. So y'all stay tuned.
Come on now.
All right, y'all, we are back with the Kickback Podcast. Again, Dani Vita, John William the Flautist. So we were just talking about, definitely the people that you've worked with, the artists you've worked with. Yes. And again, those some really great names. Now, who are the people that you want to work with? The producers, the artists that you like, what, I have to. And we're just going to manifest it on this platform here today and by speaking into in the universe.
We're going to, so artist-wise, I definitely want to work with Killer Mike. Killer Mike. Yes. I want to work with CeeLo. It'd be great. I would like to work with Saha the Prince. That'd be cool. Janelle Monáe. I would love to do some work with both Janelle Monáe and Rhapsody. Artist-wise, those are just a couple of people that off the bat I would. Also, yes, Tip, Ludacris, just people that I grew up, admiring.
For sure.
And just on the super random tip, I don't know if Earth, Wind, and Fire is still recording, but I would love to work with them, just musically, because
somebody's still up.
They had so much, some musical influence on me growing up. So artist-wise, those are the ones I love to work with. Producer-wise, I would love to just lock in with DJ Toomp. Met him a couple of times, a lot of times, and he's been also real supportive, real cool dude. You know, saying from the A, humble. I would like to work with Bangladesh. I would like to work with Hit Boy. I like to work with Jazzy Faye. Now, I've worked with Jazzy Faye before, but I'm talking about just that real lock-in. I mean, just a week straight. I think me and him, we can definitely like crank up some stuff. But those definitely Mr. Hankey also. Shout out to Mr. Hankey, HBCU Southern. I see you, big dog. But yeah, those, I mean, just their genius and the sonics and the sounds that they create, I find it really impressive. And just on a musical level, you know, I think that with my girl Charlene getting there with them, we can make some magic, you know. So yeah.
I love it. Her name is Charlene.
Oh, it's my baby, man. It's my baby.
I love it. That is great. Okay, so definitely you're gonna work with these people. I just want to go ahead and just put that out there because, like I said, you take it to the universe and it's there. Now, you did talk about you weren't used to recording. You are now recording, obviously, and you have a hit single. Talk about your hit single right now. So
one person that I think I may have brought him up a little bit, but I always got to give credit to because he has really been probably the most instrumental person in terms of me recording is DJ Burn One. And if y'all don't know who that is, I mean, I'm pretty sure you heard Burn One.
Heard the drop.
Y'all know the drop, man, with the 5 Points Bakery, man. So DJ Burn One has pretty much produced my my debut album, Melodic Ascension. He also produced he did most of the production on my sophomore album, Tomorrow's Yesterday, and all of the singles that I've had, the majority of the singles that I've had since then, you know, he's been key in the production with that. So shout out to DJ Burn One. My most recent single is entitled Make It Hot. Again, Make It Hot, featuring Rozelle. Y'all know Rozelle, the beatbox guy, you know. Four Eyes, you know. Lyrical genius mastermind. Yeah. I mean, his wordplay is just out of this world. And my homegirl Camila Shawnee, man, she came on there. She killed it with the vocals and the rapping. And so, the single again is called "Make It High." It's on all platforms. The video coming soon. Make sure you all get on that.
We're gonna push it, of course. Kickback Podcast, as we do. You know how we do. We gotta keep things going. Introduce y'all to the hottest, the latest, the vibiest. You know, things like that. Now, take it back real quick. Because you've worked with some great people. Any records that are your favorite that you've, you know, because you've worked with some great. So it's like, I could have done this differently.
It's honestly some of the favorite.
It's okay. Man. I'm trying to see the game, not your heart.
I probably want to say, okay, I gotta say Solar Moon.
Okay.
Because Solar Moon is the first song that I did. It was on my debut album also. It's a song I did featuring Big Rube. And Big Rube, I remember the moment that, you know, he called and agreed to do it. I was in the middle of a faculty meeting. And when I saw he called, he texted me. He's like, give me a call. And I texted him.
I just imagine that even his text as you read it.
We're talking Big Rube, you know. So he got that iconic voice, you know.
For those that don't know who Big Rube is, you know, I'm going to take it to a, relevant standpoint. At ATL, the movie, you know, Atlanta, he definitely gave the spiel, if you will, that speech at the end of the film. Powerful, classic voice.
Yes. Big Rube, Dungeon Family, first generation. Shout out to Organized Noise. Rest in peace, Rico Wade.
Absolutely.
But Big Rube, you know, when he called me and I was in the middle of faculty meeting, I looked and I said, "Oh shit!" Like, and everybody looked at me and was like, "What?" And I didn't run out, but I, you know, expeditiously walked out the meeting.
Yes.
And I went, you know, to just a little forward, and I was like, "Yo, I'm talking to Big Rube." So that was one of the first ones, you know, that really made me feel like, okay, I have something of value that somebody of his caliber and more can appreciate and utilize. And so after Solar Moon came, I mean, that was on the album, but Night Drive featuring Big Gip and James Worthy. That was the one that really shot up to the next level because Night Drive kind of happened in the midst of the pandemic. And so Goody Mob had just released their new album, Survival Kit, featuring their hit song For My People.
Okay.
And they shot the video. I was in that video too. For my people, that's with Goody Mob, and it was along the same times as Gib, James, and we done Night Drive. So they was kind of working in parallel. So it worked together. But Night Drive was the one. I again so appreciative of Big Gib for hopping on there, James Worthy for providing the vocals, produced by DJ Burn One, and it was one of those ones that really led to Running Red Lights featuring Fabo, GB&B featuring Pastor Troy. I'm talking about Cho Cho Chi Chi Hundreds featuring Scotty ATL. That's the one. Good Trouble featuring Big Rube again, Tiffany Rose, and D1 out of Louisiana. So shout out to D1, Tiffany and Big Rube, which led us now to Make It Hot featuring Rozelle, Four Eyes, Camila Shani.
I love that. I love that. Yo, we're going to definitely push that again. Now, I have to ask, how was it like working with Fabo? Like in a creative space, it's just Barbara, you know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm gonna say this.
Spaceships on Bankhead.
I'm gonna say this about Fabo, and I told him this to his face, and I said on camera, I said to you, I wholeheartedly believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Fabo is one of the most intelligent, genius level musicians that's walking this planet right now. I personally think he need to do a gospel album, but that's just my personal opinion.
Wow, Fabo doing gospel. I would love to see it.
I'm trying to tell you, man. It's something about somebody that's going through something and has this level of deliverance and insight and experience mixed in with his musical genius, like to put on wax, man. I'm telling you, Fabo. Hey, y'all heard it here first, man. So
Fabo's doing a gospel album. I'm ready.
And you can hear it even if you go listen to Killer Mike's album. Michael, go listen to Something for Junkies. That's the one featuring Fabo, and you can hear the soul of where he's coming from on that record. So I love the stories that saying he's told me about him and Shawty Lo and how and the connection that they had coming up. He would tell me about the travel that he's done in Japan and just a different culture. So he's well traveled. He's real. He's probably one of the coolest persons that I've ever encountered, as far as an artist of that magnitude. And for him to have done the things for me that he does, whether or not it's a drop, whether or not it's going with me to an interview, these are things he doesn't have to do. You know what I'm saying? But he just does it. Him and Gib, like a lot of them, they just do it just because they dope ass people, man. So Fabo, one of the greatest dudes, man. If y'all don't know, just check him out, learn him. And I would always play Scotty Geet.
I wake up in the morning. That and Pee Wee Longway start my day off. It's probably how I start my day in real life.
I feel that. And Fabo, and I give him a lot of credit because Fabo was the first artist. I would do a lot of covers, a whole lot of covers I'll play and I'll post. And honestly, with a lot of musicians that do that, all we want is just the artist to acknowledge, it. Hey, that's dope. You don't got to do nothing with it, but that'll just be something we appreciate because we appreciate the song that they do. Fabo was the first person to not only like a cover of his, what I did, not only comment on it, but repost it. He reposted it on his page. That's when I think that Geeked Up Challenge was going on. And before I knew, I was just playing it because I like the music,
Right.
And so, man. So he's one of the first, and I'm blessed to have done a song, with him. And I love the report that we have today. So Running Red Lights featuring Fabo.
I love it. Support is real. And speaking of support, another common tie we have is New Face.
Oh yeah, New Face. Is he here? Well,
right.
He might be here
that man will pop up out of the blue, but he's also, been able to just be a good person to just put you on or connect you with people. So it's just always good to have those resources in your pocket.
New Face, man. He's I've never spoken on this out loud, but I believe New Face cracked the code to humanity. Believe it or not, he would talk about his face card. That's his currency. But New Face, I believe he is as successful as he is because he doesn't have any malicious intent behind what he does.
Absolutely,
he's genuine. Absolutely. He doesn't have any kind of hidden agendas or motives. He does something out of the good of his heart. And if humanity operates on that, then I believe as a whole we'll be in a better place. And so that's just the spirit of New Face. Again, he cracked the code to humanity. If we just kind of follow along in that kind of philosophical mindset, then we'll be in a lot better place than we are today. Shout out to New Face. You probably hear somewhere,
omniscient New Face.
My guy.
I love that. So, definitely on a closing moment, 5 years from now, where is John William?
Ooh. If I'm not still teaching, then I would have reached a place to where I'm touring, like heavily, for real touring. More music will be out. Hopefully I can get my music. I can get a lot of sync going on. Mm-hmm. My music can be found in TV shows, commercials, movies. The first dose of that I had was, again, DJ Burn one. The movie Superfly. I was a part of a song called Make It Hot. I mean, I'm sorry, not Make It Hot, but If You Want It, featuring, it was Sleepy Brown featuring Scar.
Nice.
And I was able to get a placement in that song, which got placed in the movie. And, it feels good when you got people from Universal, saying, calling you, emailing you about your information, and to see your name and movie credits. It's like, yo, that feels good. I can get used to that. So definitely to have my music placed more widespread across the world, and just to touch as many people as I can. And like I said earlier, to heal as many people as I can with the music I create. 5 years from now, that's what I want to do, if not more. And the Grammy will be nice, but yeah.
Oh, we putting it out there. We see Killer Mike, bringing it home, and even in his 40s. It's a thing. It can happen.
Yeah.
I want to thank you again.
Thank you for having
let the
me.
people know where they can find you, give your socials, your tags, all that.
You can find me all social media at John William Flautist. Again, that's John William Flautist. Flautist is spelled Flautist. All social media. My music is on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, the streaming platforms. You can find my music there. John William Flautist.
All right. Don't send your kids to him because, again, he's still an educator.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all get your kids right. Keep them in the arts, people.
Please.
Keep them in the arts.
Please.
All right, y'all. This has been Dani Vita with the Kickback Podcast, part of my Atlanta series.
Oh, yeah.
John William. I got way more, coming for you. Stay tuned with Intent TV. Shout out to Mo behind the lens. We still here.
Oh.